This is Pure 1, Chapter 5.3. We are going to continuing on the lesson about straight lines. So last lesson, we talked about, some basic of straight lines. We talked about, equation of straight line, and we've learned new formula. So quick recap, to find the equation of straight line, we've now used the more mature formula, y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We need two things to use this formula, the gradient and the point. And the points in coordinates will fit into the x1 and y1. Okay, so hopefully you do remember that. So today we're just mixing in parallel and perpendicular lines, making this equation a bit more flavorful. So note, if two lines, I use L1 and L2. Okay, so let's call these lines L1 and L2 are parallel. If they are parallel, means the gradient are the same, right? Because they're parallel. So using mathematical symbols means M1 equals M2. The gradient of line 1 equals gradient of line 2. So M1 equals M2. If they're perpendicular, then they are negative reciprocal of each other. So you've learned it from GCSE. Mathematical wise, we call it M1 times M2 equals -1. That's the definition, mathematical definition of perpendicular. The gradient multiply give you -1. More usefully, M2 equals -1 over M1. Okay, right, so you should have known this. Let's look at an example. A line is parallel to 6x plus 3y minus 2 equals 0 and passes through 3, 0. Find the equation of the line. We'd love to see find the equation of the line. This is a straight line, so we're going to use our favorite formula for now, because we will have a lot of favorites down the line. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. We need a gradient and we need a point. Do we have a gradient? No. But do we have a point? Of course, we always do. 3, 0. Okay. When I'm talking, there's always a point. But in this question, there is a point. 3, 0 coordinates. Gradient. We say we're parallel. Our line is parallel to this one. Therefore, if we can find a gradient for this line 6x plus 3y minus 2 equals 0, then that could become our gradient, right? So your toy is my toy, and my toy is my toy, right? So 6x, that's how I told my younger brother. 6x plus 3y minus 2. So let's work out the gradient from here. To work out gradient, of course, we're going to make y the subject in here. So to make y the subject, everything goes to the right, apart from y, divided by 3 minus 2x. So the gradient equals -2. By the way, if you don't know what this symbol means, this little arrow thing, there's a name. This symbol, actually, this arrow here, is not just an arrow. In maths, it means implies. That means, okay, so from the equation y equals 2 over 3 minus 2x implies or tells us that states that the gradient is -2. Right? So we've got the gradient -2. So then let's time to use our favorite formula. Y minus, so the equation, therefore, is y minus 0, y1 equals m x minus x1, 3. Expand the bracket, minus 2x plus 6. Voila, that's done. Next one. Okay, so practice question 1. Okay, read the question carefully, and this time they want you to give your answer in ax plus by plus c form. Pause the video, have a go. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. That's the final answer. X plus 4y minus 7 equals 0. Good, right? Well done. Move on. Okay, but if you don't, let's go through. So first thing first, we need to use a formula y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. We need the gradient and we need a point. We've got the point 3, 1, which is the gradient. So the gradient actually we know is parallel to this line. So the gradient is -1/4. So that gives us y minus 1 equals m -1/4 x minus x1. Then in here, you've got two ways to solve it. One is you expand the bracket, but the other way, which I find which is smarter, is I know I need integers from base, judging by the question. So rather than expanding -1/4 into the bracket, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to multiply a 4 to the other side. Or you can do -4. I'll do multiply by 4. And that way, I can get rid of the fraction. So then my answer would be, right? My answer would be 4 bracket minus line 4 times y minus 1 equals -1 times x minus 3. Now, obviously, if you multiply by -4 left-hand side, then you would have no -1 in here as well. Anyway, so now it's my bracket 4y minus 4 equals -x plus 3. So just only bring everything one side. So 4y plus x minus 7 equals 0. So that's one answer. My other answer is x plus 4y. Yeah, so yeah, put the x first. Plus 4y minus 7 equals 0. Right? Or alternatively, or you can have -x minus 4y plus 7 equals 0. That also works if you change the sign in the front of all of them. Okay? Right, so next example. This time is perpendicular. The line is perpendicular with the equation y minus 3x plus 6 equals 0 and pass through a point minus 2, 5. Find the equation of the line. So again, same recipe, but different way of cooking. Point and a gradient. We've got the point, minus 2, 5. Do you have a gradient? No, we don't, but this time it's perpendicular. So we have to be mindful. So let's try and work out the gradient of the line y minus 3x plus 6 equals 0. If you try to rearrange to make y the subject, you'll see a gradient here is 3, right? But the gradient that we need is a negative reciprocal. So therefore in here, so the gradient is -1/3, negative reciprocal because they're perpendicular. Okay, so write down in here if you, why is it -1/3? Because perpendicular. Okay, so these are some little notes that helps you understand what's going on in the notes. So it's time to use our, again, favorite formula, recipe. Y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. The question did not say I need to use the integer form, so I can just expand the bracket as I want. So -1/3 x, that's a +2 times -1/3, so it becomes a -2/3. Okay, and then when I add the 5 to the right-hand side, that will give me, what does that give me? Hang on, -2/3 plus 5. Let me put in a calculator. So -2/3 plus 5, 4 actually. So what was that? So it'll be 15 with 13. Will be plus 13 over 3, no? By 15, yeah. Okay, that's the answer. Right, sorry, my mental math's not working because I couldn't find my calculator. Right, that's the answer, should be, if I do my mental maths correctly. Okay. Right, your turn. Okay, so pause the video, have a go at the question. We did mention about crosses the x-axis last lesson, okay? So pause the video, have a go. When you're ready for the answer, you can press play. Right, this is the final answer, okay? A is -1/0 and B, the two answers. If you got it right, well done, that's the end of lesson for you. Quick one. If you don't, let's have a look. Okay, so question A, to find the coordinates of A when it crosses the x-axis, as I said last lesson, crosses the x-axis means crosses x-axis means y equals 0. So we substitute y equals 0 into the equation. So when y equals 0, 3x minus 8 times 0 plus 3 equals 0. So 3x equals -3 divided by 3, x equals -1. The question wants us to find the coordinates. That's why we must write as a coordinates -1, 0. Okay. Part B, find the equation of line 2. So what's line 2? Line 2 is perpendicular to line 1. So equation of line 2 is still a straight line. So y minus y1 equals mx minus x1. I need the gradient and I need the point. I have the point -1, 0 from part A. I need the gradient. So to find the gradient, I need to make y the subject for that equation, 3x minus 8y plus 3. So 3x minus 8y plus 3 equals 0. To make y the subject in here, I will bring the 8y over, divide by 8. So it'll be 3 over 8x plus 3 over 8 equals y. Therefore, the gradient of this line, so the gradient, so the m1 implies m1 equals 3 over 8. And therefore, which implies m2 equals -8 over 3, which is what we need. So now we can use the formula y minus y1 equals m minus 8 over 3 times x minus x1, x plus 1. So y equals negative h over 3x minus h over 3 is the answer. That's it. That's all. Right. Enjoy your homework.